Halloween ends. It definitely ended. Let's talk about it. Halloween ends is upon us, everybody. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-tingling climax in this final installment of this trilogy. That's what the IMDb description says. Do I agree with that? Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I am obviously a Halloween fan. This new trilogy was great. 2018 I really enjoyed, but upon re-watching, it really hasn't held up for me. Halloween Kills, I believe I was the only person leaving the theater watching Halloween Kills, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then go on Twitter and seeing everybody just shit on it. After rewatching it, I see the gaps and the opportunities everyone's talking about. Do they affect me to the point where I dislike Kills? No. Kills was okay with me. Not the best, but it was okay. It gave me what I wanted. And for those who don't know, every time I go to a Halloween movie, all I want is two things. I want nice kills and a cool soundtrack I can play while I'm working. I don't need to know everything about Michael, how his origin is, or how he works, where he comes from. I love the mystery about it, and I'm fine with that. So going into Ends, I was really excited because this was supposed to be an epic climactic showdown, right? This is going to be a spoiler review. I cannot talk about this movie unless I go into detail. So if you haven't seen it, please turn it off and come back after you watch it. It's on Peacock. Watch it tonight. For those who've seen it, I'm going to start talking about it now. Okay. The movie starts out with this guy named Corey babysitting a couple's young brat kid on Halloween 2019. This starts off, I'm thinking, okay, who is this guy? Why do we care? Why are we here? How does this tie to the previous two movies? We get that answer later on, but the scene ends with this brat kid getting his comeuppance, and the kid dies through an accident, through Corey pushing the door open, the kid falling off a flight of stairs, which satisfied me because the kid had it coming. Brat, little punk, little fucker. And then we go into the title credits, but I was invested. I'm like, who is this person? Why do we care? I don't give a shit that the kid died. He had it coming. He was a little brat. Why do I care? So, like the previous other Halloween movies, it grabbed me at the beginning, especially Kills. Kills has the greatest, one of the best pre-title sequences, arguably, in my opinion. And so does 2018. It sets the stage. You're like, all right, this is a Halloween movie. We're going to be in for a ride. And I didn't have that momentum or that excitement as soon as the title credits kicks in. And speaking of title sequences, I didn't like the pumpkins flying in the way they were doing. It was the animation. It just looked fake. It kind of didn't match the organic feeling of the previous Halloween movies. So anyway, the movie starts off. We're 4 years later. Haddonfield is more or less infected with the evil presence of Michael Myers. They don't know where he's at, but he's more or less like an ulcer, a cancer dwelling in the undergrounds of Haddonfield, and it's affecting everybody's mood and everybody's overall spirit. So I like that approach. That was a unique approach that I wasn't expecting, nor have I ever thought of. Michael being a virus, in a sense. So then we're introduced to this Corey character again. He's just this guy working at a garbage place or a dump, and I get the comparisons to Christine. I really do. It's right on the nose as you're watching it. But then Allison's introduced to this guy, and then there's this romantic storyline, which I didn't buy. I didn't buy whatsoever because Allison, like her grandmother and her mother, were survivors. They were smarter than that. And the way they dumbed her down to be like this teenage girl in love who's going to get on back of this guy's motorcycle and leave town, I thought it was a great disservice to the character of Allison, especially after everything she's been through. Now, one could say, well, Rudy, she's lost all her friends. She's had nothing but trauma in her life. Her parents are dead. Everybody she's loved is dead. Maybe she just wants to escape Haddonfield. I get that. But again, she is a smart person. I don't think she would need somebody to leave. So that whole romantic storyline, I didn't buy at all. And the Corey character of him being bullied by high schoolers and Richard Brake Jr., it came forced and artificial to me. I don't like, how would a grown man in his 20s allow high school kids to bully him? I mean, what the fuck? I don't buy that. I don't buy it. So anyway, there's a scuffle and this character Corey's thrown off a bridge, and Michael Myers has been living in a sewage drainage system for 4 years, which if anybody lives in a flood zone knows that's not how it works. I mean, Michael would be underwater half the time, drowned. So I don't know. Forget it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Michael brings this kid in. Why? I don't know. But then we're starting to get the idea of what the writers are trying to convey to us is that, hey, Michael is kind of like on his last leg and this new kid is bringing him young energy. And when the kill starts, there's like a transfer of energy or an infection. And this character who we're supposed to feel sympathy for, but we've never met, starts becoming evil or infected with evil. And they give us a little nudge to the audience where the homeless guy comes and grabs him and says, hey, he's got something that belongs to me. I'm Michael Myers. And we're kind of confused as an audience member thinking, okay, what does this mean? But later on, we find out the closer you are to Michael Myers, the longer you're with or around him, you tend to become infected with pure evil, which is you know what? That's a unique idea. That's a unique idea. I can roll with that. It just wasn't delivered or executed in an efficient way. Corey starts to become more evil, more angry, and possibly, that's probably why Allison was making these reckless decisions. I didn't get that bridge. I'm kind of reaching there, but maybe that's why she was the way she was. Maybe that's why she was changing. Or it could have been hormones. Corey starts to bring victims to Michael, and as Michael kills these victims, he gets a resurgence of energy. They go on a few killing sprees together as a tandem duo, which is unique. You know, I will give the writers and everybody on board with Halloween Ends this. You took chances. You gave us something that we hadn't seen before. Instead of Michael just walking around Halloween evening, staring at kids and killing random kids having premarital sex, I will give you that. You gave us something different. I just wish this would have been set up earlier. Maybe if Corey was introduced to us in part 1 as maybe this younger kid, a friend of Allison's or a neighborhood kid that just occasionally shows up. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, why don't you get home, Corey? Your dad's looking for you. Something like that. That would have maybe helped us bridge that gap with this character, because Corey feels incredibly shoehorned. Like this was a last minute idea. It's as if they filmed the trilogy. They had it in the can. They had time to think about it with COVID. You know what? Let's go with that other idea with that Corey kid. Regardless, I know we didn't set him up. It doesn't matter. We'll just throw him in there. We'll make a great opening sequence with him so the audience can feel sympathy. Let's go with that. It's like they had too much time on their hands and they decided to change the third part of this trilogy. Or they had no idea or no plans at all, and they were making it up as they go, just like Disney did with The Rise of Skywalker, which was utter shit. One or the other, I don't know. But I didn't feel connected to this character. Everything just felt totally thrown in. Like, somehow, guys, Palpatine's returned. Like, it was the same equivalent delivery. Like, who's Corey? It reminded me of Thomas from Regular Show. Like, who's this guy? We never seen him. So Corey kills his mom, who was kind of weird. I wish we would have spent a little bit more time on her, and kills, I think, his stepdad or dad, who looked like one of my Theos. And then he starts going on this killing spree, goes to Laurie's house. They have a confrontation, but then we have let me read this verbatim again. The spine-tingling climax in this final installment. No, we didn't get that. Instead of an epic fight, we got a struggle that ended very fast. I feel if maybe Laurie died with Michael, it would have been more poetic, and it would have been more emotionally just vesting for us to see how romantic the idea is of them two dying together. I think that would have been a better send-off. But I get why they let her live. I get it. It just didn't work for me. And then they go and destroy Michael's body, which I think I was rolling my eyes on that segment because we need to call the ME's office. No, not tonight. We're going to do things different. So they tie Michael on top of the. They tie Michael like a deer on a car, and they parade him to. I guess they decided I can just see them having this conversation. They tie Michael on top of the hood of a car. I go, what are we going to do with him? I don't know. Let's go to that junkyard. We can just destroy the body there, or we can burn it. I don't know. Let's go to the junkyard and wake up everybody. Let them know we got him. Anybody who's been affected by him, let them know that we got him, and we'll have like a caravan. I know it's 1 a.m. Wake everybody up. I don't care. They'll be upset if you don't wake them up. Wake them up. And no phones. No phones. We don't want this to be recorded or posted on social media. But wake everybody up. So they take Michael to this dumpster, which they set up as this machine that destroys metal, right? And they put him in. His body's destroyed. The end. The disease is over. The cancer is now gone. Everybody has now gone into remission, and everybody is happy. The crops are growing again. It went from dry fields to like flourishing flowers. Pride Rock, all the bones washed away. And it's now beautiful. The sun came out of the clouds. It's now a beautiful ending. And that's it. That's it.
Marge, I'm confused. Is this a happy ending or a sad ending?
It's an ending. That's enough.
Having said all that, having me vent all this, you know what? I don't hate it and I don't love it. I'm in the middle. I've seen a few other of my YouTube brothers, critics say, hey, this is going to be a classic, a cult classic. You just watch. I don't see it. You know what? I possibly see it. I possibly see that happening. I just don't know when. I mean, I can see the comparisons to Christine. They're right on the nose. I can see this being appreciated later on. It's just too new for me to know. I don't know. Who knows? It possibly will. They'll will it into existence. But for me, Halloween Ends was not as eventful, not as spine-tingling as the description said. It was an ending. It was an ending. That's all it was. It was just an ending to a trilogy that didn't fit the cohesive narrative and tone that the previous two films set up. There was a momentum, a sense of urgency with 1 and 2. Regardless of how you feel about kills, right? There was momentum. It was nice to know that everything was taking place that one evening, right? There's like a sense of urgency there that what's going to happen next? This is all going to be resolved in the next few hours. So I like that tempo and approach. And I think the disconnect for me is this 4-year break where Laurie went from a Sarah Connor type of person who's into survival and training every day to a writer. I don't get it. Her daughter was killed. I thought that would probably make her more vengeful. I think as any parent, you would feel more vengeful after your daughter was killed, along with your granddaughter's friends. I think that would make your anger amplified even more. And now you're going to go kick ass and just destroy Michael. I think that makes sense to all of us. Maybe I'm wrong, but to have her transition into a totally different person who's celebrating Halloween with decor, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see the connection. And again, maybe I will 5 years from now when I rewatch this trilogy, but I have no urgency to rewatch this movie. I'm looking at the Twitter feed. I'm looking at everybody's comments. This is probably going to be the most divisive Halloween film ever because it's on two extreme ends of the pendulum. Masterpiece, greatest film ever. I loved it. Piece of shit, dumpster fire. It sucks. I'm in the middle. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It just felt completely foreign when you compare this film to the other two. It feels like a foreign director took over or A24 took over Blumhouse and just said, hey, we're going to make some changes. You'll like it. Cherry blossoms. It's symbolic. Well, everybody, those are my thoughts on Halloween Ends. I know this is kind of like an informal review, but it's more like a vent. I had a vent about this film because I had a lot on my mind. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'd love to hear from you. I know this film's going to be divisive, so I want to see your comments down below. I'll respond to every single one of them. And please share the video. It would really mean the world to me. And as always, everybody, thank you for watching. Please take care and have a happy Halloween.